What's going on, people? It's your man the YB back once again. Big shout out to my doggies, Yorkie and Maxime, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So we got another leak exclusive, ain't no one seen before for you, man. No, regarding Anthony Orderly Thany Harrisonua, aka formerly known as Anthony Johnston, formerly known as Anthony Joshua, and the rematch. Essentially, my contacts, obviously we've got the article here, but my contacts are telling me it's going to be the rematch, which I have to, I have to respect Harrisonua for, because, well, I can respect him, but I think his head's cooked, to tell the truth. Yeah, I think the bum lickers around him, like Ben the Amato Davidson and Ben Mr. Miyake Davidson, from what I'm hearing from people close to the situation, they're running game in Mr. Harrisonua's ear. Yeah, Orderly Thany Harrisonua is having game in his ear all day. What are they telling him? They're telling him, AJ, I'll fix that for you. The same bars they were saying when they knocked out Mbongo. Yeah, oh, AJ, I'll fix that. I'd like to fix the Usyk fight for AJ. It's delusional, man. It's delusional. Like you're that guy. Like you can just come in, yeah. AJ's a 35-year-old man. Like you can just come in and you must really think you're magical. That's what you must really think. Like I said the other day, if I was training AJ, I'd tell him, or I'd tell people, I think we can give Usyk one hell of a whooping. Yeah, that's what I think we can do. Go in there, pop, pop, bash, bash. Yeah? Go in there and work him. You might not win though. To sit there and say, oh, I can fix it for you like it's a certainty. All I could personally guarantee AJ in a Usyk fight is one hell of a fight. You're going to have to fight hard and fight your heart out. And you still might not win. It still might not be enough. Yeah? With your big ass. Oh, I'll fix that for you. What? With the look at the floor right hand, Ben Davison? Is that what you was going to fix the Usyk fight with? And listen, I'll be honest with you. There was a lot of homosexual Anthony Johnston homosexuals out there who you man was believing it, and I was telling you, the only one in this game. Everyone else got certain parts right to some extent. The only one telling you AJ is going to fall in love with the pullback right hand, the drop it down right hand, because Mr. Maggie Davison, he thinks he's in the Matrix now. And there's a lot of people telling me, why be the right hand, man? This right hand's magical. AJ never knocked no one out with the right hand ever, until Mbongo. Who he knocked out with that? Charles Martin quit. He wasn't knocked out. He wasn't neurologically compromised. Takam wasn't knocked out. Brazil wasn't knocked out. Vlad wasn't knocked out. He was on his feet. Stop. AJ ain't got that kind of clinical power like that. Oops. But then all of a sudden you wanted me to believe Danny D, who'd just walked through Hrgovic, no problem, was all of a sudden going to get starched by Harrisonua. People. Audley Harrison number 2, yeah? Britain's Audley Harrison number 2. No, he's finished now. Whatever was left, the resurgence and the Matrix talk, if that was the case, it's over. He's finished, man. He's finished. And people can say things like, oh, YB, he's got loads of money. He has. I'd never dispute the facts. Equally, though, he may have loads of money. He is finished at the same time in boxing. Yeah? He's better off making some sort of, I don't know, make some Robin Hood account and start trading stonks. That's what he needs to do now, because he's finished in boxing. Take all that coin he got and start gambling and lose some coin on there, man. That's what he should be doing. Anyway, I've waffled too long already. Let's cut to the chase here. AJ Dubois, Eddie Hearn offers new rematch update and reveals likely venue. Here is the story. It says, so, the big decision. What is going on, man? So the big decision now really is, do we take the rematch? Which we already knew that, but if you read between the lines after listening to this, you'll realise that the rematch is happening. There's a keenness from his turbulency to make that rematch in February. It's part of our options within our contract. I think orderly Thani Harrisonua will always lean towards the rematch. You saw him rematch Andy Ruiz, aka Double Cheese Ruiz, straight away. You saw him rematch Alexander Soft to the Body Usyk straight away. So Eddie Hearns is implying that AJ likes to get it straight on, which, to be fair, for all of his flaws, he does. He's not a punk. AJ's he's never had a I'm not a shill and I'm not a hater. Yeah, the Tyson Fury haters will sit there and say, "Oh, AJ was ducking Fury and Wilder. Ridiculous. There was only one man." And you can sit there and say all the Fury, and all the Wilder homosexuals will sit there and say, "Oh no, it must have been AJ because Fury and Wilder fought." No, the reason Fury and Wilder fought is because they both expected. Fury expected Wilder to be an easy touch compared to AJ, and Wilder expected 30-stone Fury to be an easy touch. They saw AJ with 3 belts as the real fight, and they both thought, "Yeah, I'll win this one and then go on, then get the AJ fight." Wilder had the belt and he was talking about, "Well, this fight will be worth double once I beat Fury," kind of thing. Oops. And Fury, again, he wanted to get his WBC belt so he could bring a belt to the table and then fight AJ. As it happens, AJ ends up losing to Usyk. Fury ends up losing to Usyk. And the rest is history. So AJ, he's happy to give it a go. It's just a shame, really. He's not, out of all the people, AJ's always tried to fight the best. Up until probably, whilst he was champion at least. Whilst AJ was champion, I never remember there being a case of someone or a case for an opponent and he picked a bum instead. After he got beat to Usyk, you can argue otherwise. Like Bumlenius, but he ain't a champion end of the day. When he was champion, there was never anyone who was glaringly obvious that he needs to fight. You can talk about Luis Ortiz, but Wilder's no good. And he knocked Ortiz's ass out. So how good was Ortiz? What? Because what's Ortiz's best win? Dave Allen. He didn't even knock Dave Allen out. He didn't. Dave Allen ended up on his feet, I think. He didn't knock Dave Allen out. Dave Allen wasn't spark on the floor. Yeah, Ortiz's best win is Dave Allen. 2 on 4 weeks' notice. Luis Ortiz. Dave Allen is your claim to fame. What, because you punched Dave Allen up? You want a medal for that? Come on now. Come on. Yeah. He lost to Andy Ruiz and got popped everywhere, people. It's well documented. A lot of the wild homosexuals, they say, "Oh, well, Abby, you're wrong. There was one guy that AJ ducked and it was Ortiz and Wilder had to fight him." You're bugging. Ruiz cannot punch for toffee. Not even a bit can Ruiz punch. Fact. Jarrell Miller was sparking in front of him. He did nothing. Oh, he hurt his hand. He didn't hurt his hands for the first 6 rounds. That's when punchers and as such are most dangerous. Oops. Miller was right in front of him. Didn't do nothing in there. Was straight on him, man. So the point is, Ruiz can't punch. That's well documented, and he slapped Ortiz round in the 2nd round, the 7th round, and a whole bunch of other times. Because Ortiz is no good. Yeah, Ortiz is no good like that. If you get knocked out and punched around by Andy Ruiz, Double Cheese, then you ain't like that. You ain't that caliber. This guy's problem was, it's not his fault, he probably would have fought some other people, but his claim to fame is beating bums. Yeah? His claim to fame is beating Dave Allen and stopping Dave Allen on his feet. That is what he's renowned for. Who else he beat? He went life and death with Malik Scott. Yeah? 12 rounds with Malik Scott. People, you are not a devastating man if you go 12 rounds with Malik basketball player trainer Scott. You're not. You could never be. You went pretty much the full rounds with Dave Allen as well. Yeah, and the rest is history, obviously, because Wilder knocked him out. But that up until the first Wilder fight, that's what he's known for. Who else is on here, people? Who else do you see on Ortiz's record for him to be so dangerous? Dave Allen is what you see. And Malik Scott. Stop playing, man. So forget about it. At the end of the day, AJ, he was with it. He just lost his head in the ring. He was never a complete... Wilder was a complete punk. Apart from Ortiz, he wanted to fight bums. He was an out-and-out bum slayer. Wilder's like Tank Davis, just loved fighting bums. That's what he loved to do. AJ was not that way. So I do believe, based on these quotes, that I think he'll take the rematch. If he doesn't retire, which I see no sign of, and I'm hearing no sign of, he's going to take the rematch. I don't think he'd be able to live with himself as such. Sorry, I don't think he'd be able to live with the perception of himself. I don't think AJ is genuinely hard. Old school heads would genuinely want the rematch. I think AJ is doing what he thinks he should do. You see the difference there? He thinks, to be a warrior, I must take the rematch. But he doesn't actually burn within him. And how we'll know this is, I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong for AJ's sake. You might think I'm a hater, yeah, but I want salvation for every man. I'd love for AJ to go into that rematch. And it'll be better for the sport if he goes in there and he's got bad intentions and he believes in himself and he tests Dubois. Right? I'd prefer to see that. I don't enjoy I'm down for it. If AJ goes outside and gets punched up, I'll be the first to explain what happened. That said, I'd prefer to see two bulls, two top mandingas, and AJ who really got it back somehow, go in there and stick it on Danny D. But my base case is you can forget about that. We heard it in the whole build-up. We heard, I'm a gladiator now, and I've watched some documentaries about monarchy. And I said, it's no good, man, watching all that crap. When the bell goes, you gotta want to fight. That's all that matters. You could never watch no mafia movies. You could never know about Big Meech. You could never know about Pablo Ahmad Escobar. And still you could decide, I'm going to fight. That's all you need. You don't need documentaries. Yeah? You don't need Muhammad Ahmad Ali. You just need to make the choice yourself. Obviously now AJ's spinning the whole shtick that, now I know it's got to come from me. Come on. You're 35-year-old. Can you only know now? It's like 5 years ago, all we ever heard was, AJ's still learning. Okay. Now we're hearing, he's not learning anymore, but he's just realised now he can only do it for himself. No one's going to help him. Hopefully that is the case. But my base case is, if he gets in there with Danny D, his back end is going to drop out quick. Although, I'll give credit to Johnston. I'll give credit to AJ. Why? That last 10 seconds might have inspired him. Yeah? Even though he got caught, people like Ben Davison, who we know is in AJ's ear, will be telling AJ things like, ooh, AJ, like, if that uppercut had landed, then you would have been the victor. Or if that right hand could have easily knocked out, that right hand that staggered Dubois, that could have easily knocked him out. Or next time, that would knock him out. And he might go in there believing, and if I was Ben Davison, I'd be telling AJ, your problem was you started too late with the aggressiveness. Did you see how the minute you started coming out and fighting, you almost knocked him out in round 5? For the first 4 rounds, you didn't want to fight at all. Even before you got clipped, you was pussyfooting around. When you came out half aggressive in round 5, you almost knocked him out. That's how I'd be spinning it to AJ. And I'd be spinning it to him, look, listen, we're going in there, chin down and stuck to our head. And we're going straight forward, no back step. We're going to meet him, spark in the ring. And we'll probably I'll tell AJ straight now, you're probably going to get knocked spark out again. But you've been there, you've travelled there before, so what difference it make? You might as well go out now. Like, you might as well go out Zulu versus the colonizer, yeah? You bring a knife to a gunfight. That's how you might as well go out, man. And stand before Odin, the god of war. Do you understand, people? One of them ones. That's how I'd pitch it to AJ. I'd get him watching a whole bunch of them old-time films from the 60s. All them Zulu films. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be running a Daniel Dubois' dad psyop. Yeah, an MK Ultra on AJ's ass. He'd just be in there just totally ferocious. He'd be biting, chomping at the bit. That's what Dubois did. That's AJ's chance, man. AJ needs to forget about boxing now. He needs to forget about pussyfooting around. He clearly, listen, Team Dubois have said that Dubois took a shot. I don't think he was rocked, but he certainly took pause. I actually think, personally, it was a strategic pause. I do. I thought he thought, okay, AJ's opening up now. Let me post up here. And in fact, the evidence supports that. The evidence supports that Dubois, of course he would have felt. You feel any shot in boxing. I don't believe he was neurologically compromised at any level, though. I think he felt a shot from AJ. And he thought, okay, this for the first time in 5 rounds, I'll see how going back a bit works. Because for the first 4 rounds, he'd been storming forward. I think he thought, for the first time in 4 rounds, oh, you know what? I'll have a bit of a look now and see if I can be the counter puncher. Oops. My point is, I'm not sure what my point was actually on that. But yeah, AJ can't be boxing with dude in the rematch. He needs to forget about boxing. In fact, there's 2 things that need to be true. He needs to forget about boxing, and he needs to forget about party tricks. It's no good being aggressive with the drop back lead right hand uppercut. There's no point doing that. You get knocked out again. The chances are, yeah. I told you this 6 months ago. I predicted it. The only man you heard on here, fact, to predict it. I said this guy going to come in looking for a party trick. And party tricks are exactly that. They don't land like that. I don't know why you'd base your strategy. I've been saying it for years, AJ's shtick should be similar to Dubois, to be honest. You're powerful with both hands. You're not a kind of... I don't believe Wilder has power, but either way, let's assume Wilder had power. AJ's not a Wilder. We know this. Neither's Dubois, to be honest. They're not stingers like that. AJ goes 7 rounds and can't put Brazil down, and Wilder knocks Brazil spark out. They're different. You need to be having your hands going. Loading it for one shot is ridiculous. That's not the kind of power or boxer you should be. Look at the sad thing is, we don't have to go back. We don't have to reimagine the wheel here. Go back and watch AJ versus Takam when he was with Tony Sims. Go and watch his early fights. That's how he used to fight. He used to be a heavy-handed in both hands, and he put them together. And he used to have some pressure fighting / inside fighting prowess. It was after Ruiz won. If you watch that, after Ruiz won, he shit himself. And all he wanted to focus on was pussyfooting around and learning to box. It's ridiculous. He actually had higher level skills. He had higher level skills before the Ruiz won. Afterwards, all I've seen is pussyfooting around. You're in there with Wallin. You've just rocked him to his boots, and you're in there faffing some more. People call it in my opinion, low IQ boxing heads. They call it IQ. Oh, he's patient now. Oh, he's IQ now. That's not IQ. That's called you're scared to get in there and commit. That makes you a shocked fighter. When you can't finish someone off. Otto Wallin was never fighting hard. He was finished from when the bell went in round 1. So you should have been on his ass. That's what you should have been doing. Anyway, with that said, my base case is that AJ, all this talk I've just given of what I'd like to see, my base case is he's finished. Why? I think he'll take the Dubois fight because he feels he has to for his credit and his clout kind of sake. He doesn't want to be seen as a complete bum, if that makes sense. Equally, when the bell goes again, look at how he reacted to Ruiz 1. Yeah, going into Ruiz 2, he was completely changed. Completely changed. And that was without being knocked spark out. That was just by getting stopped on his feet. When you've been knocked spark out, even more insecurity now. You're not even sure you can rely on your chin anymore. That is real. The first time a fighter gets neurologically knocked out, that's a real setback. Being stopped is one thing. Being neurologically knocked out is like, oh my god. If you think about it, AJ was scared to get hit as it was. Then again, it can go sometimes, rarely though. The base case is people get scared to death. The flip side is, once people have lost / been knocked out, they feel like, oh, that relief's over now. I know what that is. I know what that experience is like. Bring it on. That doesn't tend to be what happens though. Yeah, it's like when Devin Haney comes back, he's going to be, you will never see Devin Haney hold his feet ever again. He'll be jabbing and grabbing. Because Devin Haney was a jabber and grabber, then he became undisputed, then he started getting more confidence. And he was tangling with Prograis and whatever else. Ryan Garcia really was his most aggressive fight. He forgot about all the things that got him there, the jabbing and the grabbing. And he tried to actually have a fight with Ryan Garcia. But I tell you now, when Devin Diddy Haney come back, he will never hold his feet again. He'll be jabbing or clinging on for dear life for the rest of his career. Yeah, that's what happened when you get your ass whooped. And Devin Haney wasn't even knocked spark out, but this guy was knocked spark out, and he won't want to go there again. So my base case is he'll have a hard camp, he'll train hard, he'll really want to be hard, but he'll get in there, the belt, and Danny D, he'll see Danny D in there salivating. He'll see Danny D's canines just coming out, and I wouldn't want to be in there. I've got all the philosophical and psychological theory here. I would not want to be in there with a Manchurian candidate, MK Ultra victim, Maximus Dan Elias. I wouldn't want to be in there with him, because yes, Dubois had to quit in him before, but this new version, all he knows is what his daddy telling him. Yeah, his dad watched his dad's videos. His dad said, I've conditioned my kids. Yeah, they know to do what I want, like animals. And that's how Danny watched the video. Danny D was in the corner, yeah, and Don Charles is talking, and he basically tells Don Charles to shut up, and he's looking at his dad. It's like a dog would. It's like my mum's dog. They've got some sort of codependent relationship going on. So anyway, if I go round there, yeah, and mum leaves the room, the dog's like looking for her. He ain't interested in me at all. It's the same situation here. Yeah. And when Danny D daddy there, man, he just like he on go, man. That's all he interested in. So I would not want to be in front of a human dog, if that makes sense. You can train some of these guard dogs. If you say attack, they'll just go for it. They're not. Even look at the army dogs. Army dogs, yeah, are trained in war zones, and if you tell them to go get it, man, they'll go get it, and they get stabbed up or get shot up. They just go get it. They don't know they don't have the consciousness / they've been trained out of the decision-making cortex. Yeah, and that's what Danny D's pops did to him. He's been trained out of the decision-making cortex. All he knows is what he's told, like a computer, right? If I click the attack button on a PC game, what's the computer going to do? It's going to attack. It's been told that, yeah? If the enter button is to shoot, I push enter, they're going to start shooting on the screen. That's Danny D. When Danny D dad says, finish this guy, he just in there. He just in there. It's a scary thought, man. It's not like AJ's got to come back against Usyk. Okay, I might lose on points. Yeah. It's one of them ones. Okay, Usyk might beat me on points. Okay, whatever. This is a whole different ball game. You've got a human dog in there. A big 250 pound with power in both hands. Dog. A bad man. He's essentially institutionalized for the fade. That's all he's been grown up to do. His dad said that. All this guy's been trained to do is to fight. And I'm not saying he was always perfect, but clearly you're delusional if you think something hasn't switched in Daniel Dubois. I don't know what, I think Daniel Dubois and his dad, they've been working with the CIA, man. They've done some mind control on this cat. And when his dad says, go get this guy. This is primal Nefanderalian, yeah, Nefanderalian type thing here, yeah. The Nefanderal code in Daniel Dubois has been unlocked, yeah. If you did a genetic kind of screening for Maximus Danelius, you'd find his genetic code doesn't really resemble humans anymore. It's 95% African Nefanderal. Yeah, that's what it is. He ain't human no more. He's primal and primitive. That's what all he know how to do is fight, eat and breed. That's all he... Fact, that's all he on. He didn't read it. I don't read no books, to be fair, but you get the point. Yeah? Breathe, eat, and fight. You best believe that on people. Anyway, here's some more quotes from Team Johnston. For me, the other carrot that may dangle down is obviously waiting for the Fury versus Usyk fight on December 21st, but he said something the other day. What happens if one of them gets injured? I mean, that could well happen. All of a sudden, that fight is kicked back to April, and even if it happens on December 21st, the winner or loser of the fight is not going to fight until next June or July or August. You're going to be out of the ring for nearly a year, and I'm not sure, coming off the back of that kind of defeat, you want to be out of the gym for too long. And also, he knows that if he does rematch Dubois, he has a straight shot at a world heavyweight title. That's another good point, actually. And that's a huge carrot for Anthony Joshua. So if it was up to AJ, straight rematch. But he will take the advice of me and 258 and Ben Davison and everybody, and then he'll make the decision. To be honest, Fury's already said. One sec. Fury's already said if he beats Usyk, he wants the trilogy. Although, do I believe Fury though? Do I believe Fury? Probably not. I think Fury likes, especially if Fury, because Fury, don't forget people, Fury beat Wilder the second time and then tried to evade his contract. So Fury says things, but if Fury was able to, for example, nick a fight on points against Usyk that he actually lost, I'm sceptical he'd want the third one. Let's say Fury gets put down again, and somehow this time Turkey's rigged it, and Fury wins. You can forget about him wanting that trilogy. So I don't believe that, but in print or from taking his word at value, Fury says, if I win this next fight as I plan to, I want the trilogy. If that's the case, I guess the argument is, well, Turkey's already said he wants the AJ and Fury fight regardless. But then again, that was before AJ got knocked spark out. And if Turkey wanted the AJ and Fury fight regardless, he wouldn't be saying, yeah, I'm down. He wouldn't be pushing for the Dubois rematch. So, yeah. The points that Hearn makes are true. There's no point AJ. If he is going to continue, if he's not going to retire, there's no point in AJ hanging around. He's already wasted. I think it was 2020. It probably was actually, yeah. AJ didn't fight Usyk until, I think, August 21. So this is the deal from what I remember. AJ fighting Pulev. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, wait a minute. AJ fought Pulev. AJ fought Ruiz in 29 December. That was it. The whole of 20, AJ was politicking with Fury trying to make that fight. And instead, it didn't happen and he fought Pulev. Why is that relevant? AJ's probably wasted in total at least 2 years of his career, which is quite scary really. When you think about the business end of any boxing career is no more than 10 years at the most, realistically. I call the business end of someone's career from when they're first champion. So to be fair, AJ's probably will be about 10 years-ish, because he was champion in 2016, and then 2026 he'll probably retire. So it's about 10 years the business end. If you take two of them years out for piddling around with Fury, that ends up being 20% of your career you've wasted hanging around waiting for Stavros Flatley. Let's have a look. Stavros. There we go. This is Tyson Fury. Yeah, these two cats here. This is what AJ's wasted 20% of his career for. The peak of his career is wasted. Don't waste no more time on Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury could beat Usyk and then take a year out, just in Benidorm, right? And I guess What would make more sense if Fury loses? It might make sense to wait, but then again, if Fury loses in December, he might not want to fight until September, which is what Team AJ or what AJ said, or he may pull out in December and it'd be no. He needs to fight, and Turkey's not going to have AJ versus another bum now. AJ's had 2 bums, Mbongo and Bumlin. Yeah, Mbongo and Otto Bumlin. No more bums now. Get back in there with Danny D. That's the only option. Unless... No, I think Danny D deserves it. Danny D, at the end of the day, he popped AJ. He popped Hrgovic. I was about to say, or maybe they should do Bakoli in Africa. But no, Bakoli... Danny D, he deserves to absorb the full clout and soul of AJ at this point, right? But what would Bakoli be doing? Having some leftovers? Yeah, so yeah, Bakoli doesn't deserve to have a go on Johnston. Bottom line. Bakoli needs to knock someone else out. Because at the end of the day, Hrgovic, yeah, he beat Zhang, sorry. So Bakoli and Zhang need to happen, really. Before we start talking about Zhang and Bakoli with Danny D, them two need to duke it out. That's what they need to do. Because Danny D, he already washed Hrgovic, who's Zhang's daddy. Yeah? He already washed John Stewart, who's Mbongo's daddy. So, and Parker's daddy. Oops, people. That's a big oopsie for you, man. For all the Zangma-sexuals out there. Yeah, for all the Zangma-sexuals. AJ already punched the head off Parker. Parker didn't want to fight. And Maximus Dandelius knocked him Spark out. So, there's levels to this game. And Maximus Dandelius, Zhang's going life and death with Parker. Life and death with Parker. Life and death with Hrgovic. So Zhang ain't there. He doesn't make the minimum criteria, unfortunately. He needs to get something back. He needs to knock Parker out. Yeah, or he needs to knock Hrgovic out. That's what needs to happen. That's what Zhang needs to do. Yeah, and Bakoli, yep, he took out Anderson, great, but he's still got something else to do. You need to be in Danny D's league. You need to have 2 wins. 2 wins. 2 stoppages over top bulls. And really, what's Zhang got? Wilder. Wilder is not better than Hrgovic. Wilder did nothing in there. I'd say Wilder wasn't even better than AJ. At least AJ had to go in the 5th round. Wilder never had to go. And he was spinning and shit. Wilder's no good. Yeah, Zhang knocked him out, but Zhang was looking... I ain't gonna lie. People were ranting and raving about Zhang and how good he looked. I didn't see it in the Wilder fight. I thought for the first few rounds, he was lighting Wilder up. And then Zhang did nothing for about 2 or 3 rounds. And then obviously he got lucky in my opinion and Wilder started spinning in circles. If that hadn't happened, Zhang was about to run out of gas and it would have gone to points. So you got to be careful blowing Zhang off. He's only got 6 rounds of cardio. Is the bottom line here. Only got 6 rounds of cardio. Anyway. Here we go. But it'll be a decision that probably comes in the next couple of weeks. When asked if the fight would take place at Wembley again, Hearn revealed, I think it will be part of the Riyadh season in Riyadh. Riyadh season runs from October to the end of February or early March. So anything within that period takes place in Riyadh. So yeah, it will be part of Riyadh season if it was to happen. Hearn added that Joshua is expected to stick with Ben Davison moving forward, despite his shock loss. So yeah, I think... Is it the right thing to do for AJ? There's no point doing no more builders now. Maximus Danelius isn't the best guy to have to come back to, obviously. It would be much better if he'd have just lost to Usyk, because you can Usyk will give you time to settle in to some extent. But we're here now, you're 35 years old now. You either want to fight and fight for your legacy or not. Yeah? I don't give AJ a big chance, but if we're fair, there's probably a 10 to 20% chance AJ can just find a shot somewhere. Yeah? There is a chance, like any heavyweight, but AJ's not any heavyweight. There's a 10-20% chance, tops, that he can find a punch. That's what he needs to go in there for. Not one punch, I mean, he can put there's a 10 to 20% chance he can put some magic together that gets Dubois out of there. We saw probably 20-30% of that in round 5. And really, it was the shoddiest 20-30%. He's galloping forward with his beak in the air. So if he tightens things up and get something that can be replicated down, not a party trick, he's got a 10-20% chance. And with gambling, 10-20% chance makes you an outsider, but at the end of the day, it happens all the time. I've been at a casino before and I've seen 20 reds come out on the roulette table, which is statistically impossible. It's obviously rigged, to be fair, but it's statistically impossible to see 20 reds. You should never observe that ever. Unless you've been on Earth 10 trillion years, you should never see 20 reds on the trot. Do you understand, people? And that's 20 reds. AJ's only got a, what's that? What's a 20% chance? A 20% chance. Well, I mean, yeah, to a toss. I don't know what a 20% chance is. Well, I guess it's about 2 reds. To get 2 reds in a row is a 25% chance. That's all it is, people. AJ has a 25% chance to do something magical here, I'd say, tops. That's only 2 reds on the roulette table. It don't take much to see 2 reds when I've seen 20 before. Do you understand, people? It's not like it's a 0.0%, 0.01% chance. It's not like that. It could happen. Not my base case, though, and I will be backing. I don't normally bet on KOs, but I'll back Daniel Dubois to knock AJ out within 12 rounds. I wouldn't do the first 6 again. I'd do for Dubois to knock this guy out, though, this time. Because Dubois is too ferocious in the ring and out. He's too ferocious. He lives for this now. And he's not going to be... Dubois is the kind of guy now, and you can hear his dad in the corner, even in the first few rounds. Get rid of this guy. There's no conservatism. There's no, sit back now. You've scored a bunch of knockdowns, so let's just chill out now. And all you got to do is get to the end of the fight and you've won. That's what Andy Lee, B-level Andy Lee was saying them corny bars to Tyson Fury. Yeah, sit back now, you've won. All you got to do is win. That's whack. I don't ever want to hear a trainer say that. Go get it, man. Even if you're winning, tear his ass up some more. That's why I've never really liked Canelo. He's one-dimensional. He's got a single gear. He don't go through the levels. He don't put it on dudes. Yeah. But Danny D now, his dad, he's not happy with just going through the motions. He wants this guy out of there ASAP. Go and get him. Don't look at me, Daniel. Go get him. That's what Danny D on. Maximus Danelius Dubois. Do you understand? Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, lick off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it.